Hey folks, it's Frithgar here. Welcome back. I know I was rather tired when I finished yesterday, and I've had a good night's sleep, and I've also been a little bit busy. You have a look in the furnaces here, you'll see that I had to get rid of some of the cows. It was getting a bit crowded over there. I've fed them, and we've still got several, but we've now got a nice bit of leather. Got some steaks cooking. I'll take those out, get a bit of XP from those, and I've also gone and got a whole load of sand which I'm turning into glass. I got that from over by the river, and we'll want a heap of glass when we come to finish. And I also, you'll see down there by the mob spawner entrance, the top bit, there's a crater. That's where I ran into a creeper. It wasn't very pretty, but the creeper came off worse. So we'll put some more sand in there. We'll pop those in there for now, and some of those, and we'll get straight back down to the pit. Harvested the wheat farm. I will just show you very quickly what I've done with the sand over here. We'll run over here as fast as we can. You'll see that I've started at the back here, and I will eventually pick up all the sand that we've got here. And all I've done is just gone along and scooped out all the sand that I could, blocking back the water as I did. I'll do the same over there, and slowly we'll mine out all of the sand that's around here. We use a lot of it with glass on different projects. I like to have big glass walls on most of the houses that I build. I think it looks nicer. So there will be a lot of sand disappearing from this area, and at some point we'll need to go on a nice long journey and see if we can find some more sand. So there's most of the cows gone. We've got a whole load of babies in there. Let's get back down into the mob spawner and we'll carry on with the next part. And you've seen that I dug it all out and we have platforms everywhere. The next step is to dig it out just a little bit further. We've got this great big room here now, and we'll get rid of that piece in the middle, and we'll remove this piece. But the next step is really quite simple. We don't do it all at once. Is we dig down like this all the way around, so that the channel is actually 2 blocks deep. This means that when mobs spawn, they can't jump out. They come over to the edge and they can jump up and down, but they can't get out. Except for spiders if they're chasing you, but spiders will only jump up and down like that if they're chasing you, and we don't intend to be down here when it's all dark. So I'm going to go and dig all of that out, and then when I've finished, I'll get back to you. And there we have it. That's 2 deep all the way round, like that. Every single alleyway I've done all the way through. Up to the ends, I've left a gap like this. I've actually left a set of steps, but when we finish, we will fill those 2 in. There needs to be a strip 2 wide all the way around the edge. So the next part, we need steps. We need a lot of steps, so we'll take a few stacks of cobblestone like this and make our steps. If you remember, we want them like this. You put 3 down there and 3 underneath there like that. Right, lots of stacks of steps, and we need some picks. Now I'll do the first one down here. We'll run down here nice and quick. Let's speed this up. Now it's quite important you get this the right way round. What we need to do is go from the back corner, and there's nothing up to the first junction. You go to the first junction, and then you face in the direction of the middle. I don't know if you can see just over there, see the pillar standing up in the middle? So that's the direction that the pillar is going to be. We dig out 3 like that. Then we take 2 sets of steps, 1 there and 1 there. And we do the same on this side. Dig out 3, and then place 1 there and 1 there, like that. That's it. And we do that at every junction. So I'll dig 1 out here to face the middle. They've all got to be facing the middle. And what will eventually happen is there'll be water over all of this, and the mobs will flow towards the middle. So they'll go towards the middle. They'll drop down there, and then they'll walk up the steps, and then they'll drop down and they'll walk up the steps, and drop down and up the steps, and so on. And they'll keep doing that until they reach this middle shaft, and this is where they will run up and down. So I'm going to go through and do that at every single junction, and then I'm going to go and make a whole load of signs, because we'll also be needing some of those to help stop the water at different intervals. And then I'll show you how to place those when I come back. Hey folks, so I've dug out all of that, gotten a whole load of wood. See, I got some birch, because the next thing we need to do is build a massive load of signs and put them in. So we'll dash back down here again, and I'll show you the digging out here. Now, it's very important to make sure that you get these the right way around. They've all got to be flowing towards the center of the room, and the steps must always be going up towards the center. So you'll see here in the middle it changes slightly. Over here we have one there and one there, and it does the same until you get to the middle, and then you only have one moving away, and that runs down to the center. And if you move out from the center, you see it's going in the opposite direction, and this has just got to flow, so no matter which way they go, they will always be pushed towards the middle and towards this piece. So that's that bit. Let's see, exits over here. And the next thing we need to do is make a load of signs, and we put them around by the steps. So let me just get rid of some of this stone here. I got loads of it here. Right, I'll keep back a stack of it. We'll want some of it a bit later on. Get rid of the granite and andesite and so on. We'll use that for decorating our base later on. I'm thinking of having a big load of roads everywhere that will use that. We'll have stripy coloured roads, so it'll be polished andesite and granite and so on. So we want to make signs. We spread them out like that. No, that's not a sign. A sign. Let me get rid of these a minute. We need some sticks. I've got 10 here. I can make a few more. Put those in there. Put those there. It's 26. Let's turn all of that. Another lot there. Okay. Now we put sticks, and then you want wood like that, and that makes 3 signs. Now the problem with signs is they don't stack as much as anything else. You only get 16 signs in a stack, so we'll have to come back and make some more in a minute. Otherwise we just won't have enough room in our bag. But we'll put these in for now. Right, that'll do us for a minute. And I don't want to throw that away. And we come down here. Now, with the signs, it's really quite simple. There's nothing complicated about this. Just above the steps, not directly on the steps, but one back from the steps, you want a sign on the wall. And that's it, like that. And then on this side, you put a sign on the wall. Now, what we'll do once we put all the signs out is we put water here. The water will flow down here, and it will drop down over there, which will take the mob with it, and then it'll stop, or it'll flow up to this step. Then the next lot of water is going to be put here above the step. So the mob will get pushed down here to the end of that water, and then it'll be collected by this water, and it'll carry on being pushed this way. And it will keep going. And then it'll go down there, and we have another sign here, and another sign here, and then it'll go down, and it'll go up the next step. As we have a sign here, and we have a sign here, and it'll go up that step. And it'll just keep doing that all the way through. So we need to go back round everywhere that our steps are and put one block back from the step and one block up, so that it's like that. It has to be in front of the step, not above the step. So another one there, another one there. So I'm going to go and finish all of these, and then I will make some buckets and get some water and get back to you. And that's all the signs done. I've put one at every single junction, like I mentioned before. I've gone and made a couple of buckets and gotten some water. I'll just quickly show you. To make a bucket, you put 3 like that. I'm going to do another 5 buckets so that I've got a whole line of them here. Actually, I'll do one more. It just makes it easier for when I'm putting in all the water. So to start with, we'll make an infinite water source. You make a square in the ground like that. You put a bucket of water on that side, and you put a bucket of water on that side, and then you can scoop up as much water as you like with as many buckets as you like, and you will never run out of water. Just move some of these things out of the way like this, and we'll scoop up a couple more bucketfuls like that. Right, now what we need to do is get the water to flow towards the center of the room, and there's a couple of little things that you've got to do when you're doing this. We'll come over here a minute. That one, I can hear a lot of skeletons here, but they're not bugging us, so we'll leave them alone. Put that one up. Put that one down there. Right. Now, what we need to do is we need to place a water source there and another one beside it there, so that we have two water sources, and they'll flow down like that. Then we have another one here and one here like that, and they'll flow down. Now the issue is that there's no water on that corner, so what we've got to do is take a waste block and place it here. Nope, that was wrong. We place the waste block here, and it still doesn't go right. And we can't place it there. Just a moment. I'm trying to remember how to do this now. This is embarrassing. We can't place it on there. And it's not that one. So which one is it? Okay, this is actually quite embarrassing. Oh, I know. Wait, I got it. It's not on this corner, it's there. There we go. Right. Okay, that's actually quite embarrassing. That's bad. I've done this before. I should remember how to do that. That's just terrible. So, we pick that one up, and now we've got our water flowing over the whole square. Nice and simple. We'll have to run back and fill up our buckets, and you'll probably end up putting a few infinite water sources around the room, just to make it easier to fill them up. And I also make a series of bridges running around the room so that I can reach everything nice and easy. You'll see them later on. I'll do them as I put the water in. So the next water source goes here, just in front of that sign that you placed. And then you put another one here, that goes on top of that step as well. So then you've got water running down here, and that will push the mob down here, and then they will walk up the step. And they'll go that way because of where the sign is placed. So then we come over to here, and we put one here, and we put one here. Then we come over here, we'll just fill these up again like that. Now we come over here, and we place a waste block down there like that, so that it covers over that corner, and then dig it off. Come over to the next piece. Water bucket, water bucket. Two more over here, 1 and 2. And then put a waste block. Run around this side rather than trying to hover over the edge. Put our waste block there, and then remove it. And we just keep doing that all the way around the room, so that everything is pushed towards the center of the room, and it doesn't matter where they fall off. Anywhere on the platform, they'll drop down, and they always jump up. So they'll come down here, and then there'll be more water source here, and that will carry them on that way. They'll jump down here and probably end up going this way, and then over this way, and eventually they get to the middle, and that's it. So I'll fill all the water blocks in, and then I'll show you the final steps. Okay, so we've got water running all the way through all of the canals. You'll see I've put little bridges between each of the platforms. We'll use these later on when we're removing all the torches. Now the next thing, this is where it starts to get a little bit complicated. What we need to do is start building a mob elevator. We need everything to go up there. Mobs they always climb when they're in water. So what we'll do first is remove these, like this. And we'll get rid of those there. Just get an axe quickly and remove the ladders there, and then dig off that cobblestone. Right, now we want the mobs to climb up, and in order to do that they've got to have blocks of water and blocks of air. We don't want a solid wall of water all the way up, or they will drown. Can't have them drowning. So what we'll do first is we'll get some signs. We need a couple of pressure plates, and we'll get some glass. Now if you put glass around the edge like this, it makes a channel for the two run up, and we can see what we're doing. So we'll fill that in like that, and there. Fill it all in there. Now what I find is that it's actually better to cover over a little bit further out like this, and I'll fill that one in as well so that they don't get stuck. We'll break that one. We've put down one too many under there. Bring them out like this all the way around, and one more there. Okay. We'll be filling these in a minute. I can fill this one in now. We don't need that one anymore. And we will break that one off, just temporarily. Now this is where it starts to get a bit difficult, a bit more complicated. We need to be able to send the mobs all the way up. We put a pressure plate here, and another pressure plate here. Then we need signs to hold water in place, and we got to be able to stack water blocks. And this is the bit that personally I usually struggle with. So we put one there, and then we'll put one opposite like that, and we'll put one further up, and we'll put one opposite corner there like that, so that we can put one water block up there like that, and we can put another water block there like that. Now the next one, we need a water block there, so we need something to hold that water block in place. If we put a sign there, just on the edge of it, it's not going to hold the water block up. So we need something here. We can't put a sign on the edge of a sign. That doesn't work. It won't let us. Yes, it will. My mistake. You have to... Can we remove that one? No, we can't remove that one. So what we need to do is put a sign on the wall there, and a sign here. You shift onto the side, not out there. You need it onto the edge of it. Shift it onto the side there. So now we can place a water block there directly above. And we'll do the same on this side. I'm running out of water here. I'm going to have to go and refill my buckets in a minute. But I've got enough to do this. So we do the same on this side. We put a sign. We want one under there, so we want one coming out there. So we put one on the wall there, and then we put one on the edge there, like that. And that means that we can put a water bucket in there. So then, of course, the next problem is, and you can check this just by setting your mobs onto it, you need to do the lower level. Now, they will actually pass through the sign, so that's not going to be a problem. But the next thing we need is a water block right here. So we could put a sign there, and a sign there, and put one on the edge there, like that. That's no good. Nope. Getting ahead of myself here. We don't want the signs up there, we want the signs down here. We want to put a sign there, and a sign there. But if we do that, then of course the water can't run, it's not going to send the mobs in, so we can't have that. And you need to be able to have a water block here, just on top of this plate. I can't put one there. I can come back a bit. I might be able to shift click one in here. No. That's no good. I want to put one there, so if I put a block there and a block there, and then I put water there, and then I remove that block, and I remove that block, we've got this issue. So then we can put a sign there, that'll block that one. We put a sign there on that wall, which will block that one. So now the water is running in, and in that way, and it's running in this way, and it comes to this one, and then the mobs will go straight up, like that. So we do the same on the other side. We put a, we'll mirror that exactly. We put a waste block here. Then we put a water bucket onto that waste block, and then we remove the waste block like that. We put a sign there to stop the water from flowing that way, and we put a sign there to stop the water from flowing that way, and then it all should push back. Break that glass block there. Now everything should be pushing us from whichever direction we go. It's going to push us towards the middle. If it pushes us towards the middle, we'll then start rising, because the mobs will always start to climb in the water. And then the next bit is really quite simple. Wherever there's a sign, you put one on the opposite side, like that. Sign there, so I put one there, like that. And that will be filled with a water block, and that will be filled with a water block. And I need to do that all the way to the surface. Before I do that, I need to go out and refill my water buckets. So I'll just demonstrate a little bit more. I'll refill my water buckets. It's slow going, jumping in the water here, and I filled in that water source. So let's fill that one in, and I've got another water source over here. Put bridges everywhere, and then it's very easy to find your way around. Let's pop the signs down there. There we go. If you fish your water out too fast, you can actually diminish your infinite water source. So we climb down in here, and we come back to the middle. That will send us up. So we're stuck here. We place a water block there, and a water block in the opposite corner. Then above the water block, we place a sign, and again above the water block, we place a sign. And next to the sign, we place a water block, and we place another water block next to the sign there. Then above it, we place a sign, and the same over this side, we place a sign. So all the time, all the way up through, it's got to be alternate. We have to alternate between a sign and a water block. Sign, water block. Sign, water block. Wherever it goes, it must alternate, because as the mob is rising up through here, he needs to be reaching these pockets of air. You see these pockets of air? As I go through, see, I get bubbles, and then I can breathe. And this is what the mob will be doing all the way up. We don't want the mob to drown, whether it's a creeper or a skeleton or a zombie or a spider. We don't want them to drown on the way up. We want them to get all the way to the surface. And you may have seen some of these elevators like this with just one block wide, but we're doing it 2 by 2 so that we can get spiders up to the top as well, because we do want to get spiders on this spawner. They'll provide us with loads of string, which is always useful. We can use it for bows and so on, and we make the spawners so that we can get the spiders. So I'm going to go on and fill that one all the way to the very top, and then I'll get back to you once I've reached the surface with my alternate water block and sign all the way up to the top. And there we have it. I've come all the way up the top of the elevator there. I've alternated sign, water block, all the way up through. And I've come up a couple of layers on the glass. We will go up a bit higher, but that's all we got time for today. Tomorrow we will finish building that up as high as it needs to go, and we'll put the mob grinder in, the bit that actually kills all the mobs and collects all the drops. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Frithgar. See you later and goodbye.